The month of March was a busy month between work and my Mac Mini needing its logic board replaced. It slowed down the bread and butter for my channel, movie reviews. I'm seeing the movies, I just didn't have time to get my reviews and edits done. Well, now that my Mac Mini is fully functional again, I've decided to try something new. Here's the movies I watched last month.
What would you even do with $1 billion?
What? We shouldn't chase what we want?
How to Make a Killing stars Glen Powell as a blue-collar Beckett Redfellow who was disowned at birth by his obscenely wealthy family. Now Beckett will stop at nothing to reclaim his inheritance no matter how many relatives stand in his way. I'ma say this now, but this movie may be a 2026 sleeper. It's an entertaining dark comedy that really shines bright with Glen Powell's charm leading the way. I may get booed for saying this, but this film felt like The Wolf of Wall Street meets American Psycho. Now, before anyone gets carried away, I'm not saying this movie is just as good or better, but there are similarities. All three films take place in the financial district, focusing on greed, narcissism, and have leads that master psychotic tendencies with their charm in the pursuit of money. So argue with that in the comments. This movie wastes no time in getting us to root for Glen Powell's character, even though we all know killing's wrong. But hey, they did him dirty and it's eat the rich. Speaking of eat the rich, this movie also works as a cautionary tale, using the term eat the rich and merging it with the saying you are what you eat. We see Glen Powell become the very thing he hated, kill after kill, and it does make you wonder, when is enough enough? I also enjoy the acting from Margaret Qualley and Jessica Henwick, both representing a lifestyle crossroad that Glen Powell could choose. Margaret's represents the crusade to riches that Beckett is fighting for, while Jessica offers a way out and loving Beckett for who he is. Now, I do wish the film added another 15 minutes to its hour and 45-minute runtime to flesh out Margaret Qualley's character a little bit more. We also get an Ed Harris sighting, and he has one of the coldest quotes throughout the whole movie. So cold, it's used again at the end of the film. You'll know it when you hear it. Visually, this movie has a real nice 90s aesthetic to it, and I'm a sucker for the way movies look during that era. Now, the ending may rub people the wrong way, but I think that's the point. Nobody in this film is a good person, outside of Jessica Henwick's character. As long as you have money, you can damn near get away with anything. How to Make a Killing is a 4 out of 5.
You are smart. I know that you are great with numbers, but I just don't think you got it. As an executive, I see no value in you. Does that make sense?
Send Help, starring Rachel McAdams, Dylan O'Brien, and directed by the great Sam Raimi, is about two colleagues becoming stranded on a deserted island after a plane crash. Can they overcome their past grievances and work together to survive? Or will old wounds be their real downfall? First things first, Sam Raimi, you were in your bag with this one. Truly one of the masters of this horror genre. I didn't expect to have so much fun with this movie. There's so much jam-packed into this 2-hour flick. 1 minute you're laughing, the next minute you're sitting at the edge of your seat due to all the suspense, or you're finding yourself feeling sympathy for both Rachel and Dylan's character. I would love to know if Sam Raimi had Alfred Hitchcock in mind when crafting this film. This movie had a lot of his DNA baked into it. As I mentioned before, the suspense, the comedic element, adding the psychological tension that both characters develop while stranded on the island, and lastly, the score. It felt so reminiscent to classics like Psycho, The Birds, and more. Now let's talk about the stars of the film, Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. And speaking of Rachel McAdams, are we sure she's not a vampire? She doesn't seem like she's aged a bit since The Notebook. Both these actors do an incredible job with their roles, from despising one another to learning from each other, caring, and finally back to despising. Their dynamic was so roller coaster-like. Were the moments between them genuine, or was it all part of their own selfish goals? Send Help is a 4 out of 5.
The game will begin.
They're coming. Oh my God.
In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Do you have any questions?
This movie should be on the list of unnecessary sequels. However, this movie should also be on the list for sequels that are better than the original. Yeah, I said it. Ready or Not 2 is fucking awesome. It's bloody, it's funny, it's emotional. The addition of Catherine Newton was a slam dunk. The estranged sister dynamic gave the film an emotional depth that I wasn't expecting. I think it really elevates the sequel. Also, can we talk about Sean Hattasey? He really channeled his inner animal kingdom with this role as Titus. Pulling no punches, and the pun was intended. In that hallway scene with Grace, I felt like I felt every punch. Took the movie to another level. I love that this film cast Sarah Michelle Gellar. What a flex to have an iconic final girl, scream queen, badass, in your movie to star alongside the next generation of women. Ready or Not 2 is a 4 out of 5.
I am Rocky. I like.
Project Hail Mary, starring Ryan Gosling, is a good space movie. I was a little worried to see this movie because the feedback was saying it was better than Interstellar. That's very high praise because Interstellar is a top 3 space movie for me. So let me say this. Project Hail Mary is no Interstellar, but it is still a good space movie that will be talked about years from here on out. Visually, this movie is a sight to behold. Using a real set for the ship and using puppetry for Rocky over CGI was an excellent choice. This movie really plays to his strength, which is Ryan Gosling and Rocky forming their budding bromance to save both their planets. While this was a space film, space felt like it was put on the back burner at times to flesh out their relationship. They really took advantage of the curiosity of both characters, which delivered a lot of funny moments, especially on Rocky's end. I love that this movie wasn't told in chronological order. The film opens up with Ryan in space and then uses flashbacks to fill in the blanks and foreshadow upcoming events. Had it been done the other way around, I think we get a slow and boring movie. Project Hail Mary is very heartwarming. I can't believe I got emotional over a fucking rock. Just for that, Project Hail Mary is a 4.5 out of 5.
Hi, I'm the new maid.
They Will Kill You. You know, I never thought I'd see a Kill Bill inspired film with a Wes Anderson aesthetic, packed with all the action, gore, and horror anyone can ask for. They Will Kill You so hardcore. Zazie Beetz was amazing. She really held it the fuck down in this film, kicking ass, taking names. This is a very physical, taxing role she took on, and I would love to see her continue to do films like this. There's not much more to say about this film other than I love when directors can think outside the box when it comes to the horror genre. They Will Kill You is at 3.5 out of 5. Those are all the movies I watched last month. Hope you all enjoyed. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'm out.